everybody. It is Wednesday night, and it's time for Super Geeked Up.
Woo!
Yeah! What's up, everybody? My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for geeking out with us. This is Super Geeked Up, your weekly live geeky pop culture show. So we're gonna talk some cool stuff tonight. We got some cool improv games we're gonna do. We're gonna do Universal Translator. Let's Geek It On, which is our geeky dating game. So plenty of fun stuff. We got some geeky news. All right, so all cool stuff. And we're going to, of course, share your tweets live on air. So if you're watching live, thank you so much for watching. And please tweet us at Super Geeked Up and using the hashtag SGU. All right, we have some returning guests to our show from the Pantsless Detective. We got, oh boy, here we go. Here's the time to butcher the name once more. Dipu Bhattacharya.
Charya.
Charya, okay. I think by now I get it right. And Tom Chamberlain, that one was easy.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show.
Thanks.
Very happy to be back.
Awesome. All right, so Dipu and Tom are going to play the games with us and have all this fun, and they're going to tell us a little bit more about the series because they just recently released Season 3 of it, so we'll talk more about that later in the show and tell you where you can watch. Okay, but first we like to kick things off with the Geek Tweet of the Week, and this is where we're going to share your answers as well. All right, so the Geek Tweet, which is actually inspired by these guys' series, is what fictional character would make the worst detective? Which I'm not saying you guys are the worst detective in your show. I'm just saying what other fictional character.
Richard Pantsless.
So all right, so what do you guys think? Dipu, let's start with you. What fictional character do you think would make a really, really horrible detective?
Well, Ron Weasley seems like wouldn't be that good.
Dude, I was thinking of him as one of my answers, actually.
Really? Were you?
Yeah. I didn't choose him, but he was up there, yeah.
I mean, he'd have to rely on Hermione, so.
It's funny, yeah. I always kind of make fun of him. I actually like Ron, but I always kind of make fun of him as a doofus.
He's just not going to be a good detective.
No, not at all. Okay, I'm with you with that, Ron Weasley for sure. Tom, what about you? Who do you think?
Oh, crud. Who would be a really lousy detective?
Well, as you're thinking, let me share some tweets.
Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Okay.
Did you hear that? That was my skull! I don't think he'd be a very good detective.
All right, nice, good choice. On Twitter yesterday and earlier in the week, some people tweeted in their answers. At ParleyPod said Galactus would suck. I suppose that's true. He's just so powerful, I guess. I don't know. Why does he have to do any detective work, I suppose? I don't know.
If you're all-knowing and all-powerful, yeah.
Yeah. Carlos Ramirez at Carlos Bathory 69 had a couple answers. Inspector Clouseau from the Pink Panther, I guess yes, is known as a very bumbling detective. I always liked him, though. And Mr. Magoo is his other answer.
Oh, that's a good one.
Two very bad detectives.
Our friends at Control-Alt-Delete Movie, who were on our show a few weeks ago as guests, says Bat Zorro is the world's detective. See, I actually was not aware that there was a bizarro version of Batman called Bat Zorro, which apparently there is, and he sent me a picture to prove it. So,
wow.
Yeah.
There's a whole bizarro world, so yeah.
Oh, now, I knew that. But are there different Zorro versions of a lot of characters in the DC universe? I
think so. It is kind of past when I stopped reading comics, but I know there's a Bat Zorro action figure out there, so they've done enough of it to make figures out of it. So.
What makes him Bat Zero?
Opposite of everything would be the opposite of Batman.
Oh, well, that would make sense then. He would have, since Batman is the world's greatest detective, he would be the world's worst detective. But wait, shouldn't that also mean he has very successful love life?
And his parents are alive.
Right.
Yes.
And he has he has great relationships with everybody. He knows how to express his feelings.
He must be poor and live above ground. And
he has a lousy butler.
He lives like in a ship in some kind of thing in the sky instead of underneath. Yeah. Right. Well, I guess that could be like the Justice League headquarters, which is sometimes in space. All right, cool. All right, I like Bat Zorro. It doesn't sound like that bad of a guy, actually. Although the picture was terrible of him. Like, why are they all like? They're always deformed though. Like, you know, they have deformed faces.
Oh.
Well, because the
I guess
superheroes,
because they're handsome and
right, exactly.
real.
The superheroes
Yeah,
are generally
never
good
mind.
looking. They're
Yeah, that makes sense.
very rarely unattractive.
Right. So in the Bizarro world, all of us would look really attractive then, right?
Exactly.
I want to go to there.
Actually, yeah, I wish I were there.
Let's go. Okay.
Let's book that trip.
Anthony Davis at Lister's Made a little while ago tweeted in Dirk Gently from Douglas Adams' Dirk Gently Holistic Detective Agency. Is that in Hitchhiker's Guide? Is that what that's from? I'm assuming.
No, I think it's a separate.
Oh, it's a separate book.
Same
Separate
writer, but
Mhm.
but different character and different world. Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
And in fact, they're working on a TV show.
If you like Doug Adams,
yeah.
though, it's very clever. It's very well done.
They're working on a Dirk Gently TV show,
hmm
and he was like a bad detective.
I never read it, so I don't know for sure.
All right. Since according to Anthony, I guess he is. Chris Hadley at FilmWriter4 tweets in, "Hey guys," and waves. Say thank you, Chris, for watching. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, Chris writes for Snobby Robot, covers a lot of cool series. Okay, so that was our Geek Tweet of the Week. That's what that's called. I don't know why I forgot for a second. All right. You can keep tweeting in your answers or post them on Facebook. We always love hearing them, even after the show is over if you're watching in post. All right, so we got some more stuff coming up. We got some geeky news. Let's Geek It On, geeky dating game. That's always a lot of fun. We can see what fictional characters are going to be on tonight's show. And let's see. Yeah, all right, cool. We're going to talk about some more stuff. And you might see an appearance from my co-host. She got called in to work an emergency thing here, but she's hoping to make it on later in the show. That's Jordan Noel. All right, here we go. So our first game of the night is called Universal Translator. The way this works is, so usually, you're going to hear a special edition of this today, actually. Usually, we have 4 people do this. Actually, I'm sorry, before I continue any further, and Twitter, we need suggestions right now, and then I'll explain the game more. We need suggestions for, if we have the characters Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation and DS9, and we have Beaker from The Muppets, okay, so Worf and Beaker, give me answers or suggestions on Twitter where they are, what they're doing together, okay? So we need that for our game. So what are Worf and Beaker doing, and where are they located? You can tweet that in at Super Geeked Up and use the hashtag SGU. All right, so anyway, this is how this is going to work. Usually one person would speak in Klingon for Worf, the other would speak in whatever Beaker's language is, and then 2 other people would translate into English what they're supposedly saying, okay? But since we only have 3 people, Dipu is going to do double duty because he's amazing, and he is going to speak as both Worf and Beaker. So he's going to play dual role. He's a very multi-talented actor here. And then, so he's going to say something like in Klingon, and then I will translate what Worf is saying, supposedly, into English. Then he will say something as Beaker, and then Tom will translate for Beaker into English, and we're going to keep going back and forth. Okay? Chris Halley already tweeted in meep meep. Nice. All right. So, all right. Well, we got one suggestion already for Anthony at Lister's Mate. Says Worf and Beaker are at my place, String Bean Coffee Shop. That could actually work. Anthony runs it with his family, a coffee shop. They could be at a coffee shop, right?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that. That's a fine suggestion, Anthony. I'm sure they often go to the coffee shop in Virginia a lot.
Beaker clearly needs to stay caffeinated.
All right. So now, what do you think here? Should one of them maybe be the barista and one a customer, or both customers? Okay. What do you think?
I like the barista. I like that. Yeah, I like that idea.
All right. Hey, do you want Beaker to be the barista? How about Beaker's the barista and Worf will be coming up as a customer?
Okay.
Because I think Beaker would make a fantastic barista.
For this show.
All right. So here we go, folks. This is Universal Translator. We have Beaker from the Muppets as a barista in the String Bean Coffee Shop that our viewer Anthony Davis helps run, and then Worf is going to walk in and probably order some stuff. We'll see. Who knows what he's going to do? Okay. And All right, so Deepu will be doing both languages. I will be translating for Worf, and Tom will be translating for Beaker. All right, so Deepu, I guess you can just start with whatever language you want, and then we'll jump in.
Beep, 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 beep.
Hello there. May I help you?
It's really good. Oh, gotta do Klingon.
I'm sorry, I just spit on my computer.
I think Deepu spit on his too. Yes, I would like prune juice. A lot of it.
Sir, this is a coffee shop, not a juice shop.
What? I demand you give me prune juice, or I will cut your head off with my bucklift.
Well, I could probably produce a dark liquid, but it probably won't be prune juice.
Well, eating the diarrhea out of your ass sounds quite appetizing, but I think I will pass today, except if you would like to give me a cup, I will hand it over to Commander Riker when I return to the Enterprise.
Okay.
You are possibly more annoying than even the Ferengi.
Here's your prune juice, and come again.
Ask you quite tasty, thank you. All right, let's end the scene there. All right. Okay. So while we were doing that, excellent job, by the way.
I forgot how high Beaker has to get.
Excellent voices. Chris Hadley has suggested right before we started that Worf and Beaker are watching Pantsless Detective, but unsure why he's not wearing pants. That would have been good. Chris also tweeted in, caffeinated prune juice now, chop chop. All right, there we go. Cool. Well, so Anthony, there you go. This is a great thing. I think you can have somebody dress up as Worf and Beaker now and do this scene in your coffee shop as a reenactment of what we just did on the show. It'll drive in all the customers.
Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah.
And start serving prune juice, Anthony. Get with it, all right?
And have a honeydew sitting there on the counter
With glasses.
Draw a face on it.
Wait, is that a Muppets thing? A honeydew?
Dr. Bunsen Honeydew is the guy who's always paired with, because his head's kind of like a honeydew.
Yeah, now this makes sense. This tweet from Chris Hatley said, that's it, I'm speaking to my boss, Bunsen. Okay, that makes total sense.
Bunsen, here at Muppet Labs,
Yeah,
we don't have prune juice.
We actually got 3 voices on that.
Yeah, it was good. All right, cool. Good. Hopefully you enjoyed that, folks. Thank you, guys. Plenty more show coming up. Before we do that, though, if you're watching the recorded version or listening to the podcast, we're going to take a quick commercial break right now, and we'll see you back right after that. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. This is Super Geeked Up. Yes, Keith was really excited. He loved that commercial.
I just bought 10.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say that. Damn.
Oh, well, it was actually a commercial for prune juice that tastes like diarrhea, so enjoy.
I have a whole case.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Before we continue, I want to make sure you know that this episode of Super Geeked Up is supported by our super geeky Patreon, Maria Duran and Team KLI. They provide real-time marketing and relationship building that gets results. For more about how they can promote you, your business, or your show, visit teamkli.com. Thank you very much, Maria. And also thank you to all the other Patreons that support us each month. We really appreciate it, guys. You guys are awesome and you rock, and thank you so much. Okay, so some other stuff before we go on to other games and talk more to these guys. A couple things that We are actually on episode 197 right now, which means we only have 3 shows to episode 200 of Super Geeked Up. Yeah. Oh, that was actually not excited at all. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay. There you go. That's much better. That's it. That's better. So, yeah. So, again, if you're watching, some of you already chimed in, and I appreciate your ideas. That's great. But let me know if there's certain things you would love to see us do, certain guests to bring back or whatever else. We'd love to hear from you. We want to try to do some cool stuff for episode 200. Not that this isn't cool, what we're doing right now, but, these guys are only somewhat cool. Fireworks?
Fireworks. Yeah. I like that.
Wait a minute.
Well, the bicentennial.
Am I going to release fireworks in my room here?
1970s. It's 1976 all over again.
Wait, people in 1976 put off fireworks in their houses?
Wow, no, it's a bicentennial celebration.
Oh, I hope people weren't doing it in their houses, though.
It was the 70s. Idea. It was the 70s. Who knows?
Well, okay, yeah, they were probably doing other stuff.
Had their key party and then they'll set up some fireworks and.
Yeah, okay.
Mellows.
Chris Halley on Twitter says maybe String Bean Coffee can advertise on SGU. Hey, great idea. If anybody would like to advertise on our show, please contact me, supergeekeduplive@gmail.com or Twitter. We'd be happy to advertise, and since we're okay with like diarrhea stuff too, apparently, like anything's cool. Anything goes pretty much. All right.
Jeff, that was a little graphic, dude. Come on.
No, oh please. You didn't see last week's show, then, man. That's nothing.
Yeah. Wait till Jordan gets on.
Yeah. One other thing that I'm personally very proud about that happened to me is I actually there's a upcoming comic anthology called The Women of Darby Pop. Darby Pop Publishing puts this on. It's actually featuring it's a double-sized comic issue with a whole bunch of different stories, all on female characters as the point of the story, which, if you follow my work, is very much a part of my writing. So one of my stories was actually chosen to be part of this.
Oh, awesome.
And this is actually in previews, which if you do comics, this is the guide everybody gets, for comics. So I'm really excited. This is the first thing I've ever had in previews. Women of Darby Pop, right there.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. It's coming out in September, actually. So next month. And
awesome.
yeah. So I'm very honored. Thank you to Darby Pop to be one of the writers, and they paired me with an amazing artist named Brent Hibbard. He actually did the drawing for our D&D show we do on Monday nights. And it's been really cool. So, and I'll be doing actually not just at comic shops around where I am, but at New York Comic Con. I'm going to be down at the Darby Pop booth with the book, and hopefully it's actually going to be in time for Fan Expo in Toronto at early September. Hopefully I'll have some there as well at our booth. So there you go. Anyway, I'm just excited about that, and I'll tell you more about it when that comes out.
Congratulations there, brother.
Thanks, man. Or thanks, both of you. Men. All right. So, yes, Chris Halley thinks it's a great idea for fireworks in Jeff's room on the 200th episode, by the way. Great. Thanks, Chris.
Well, at least sparklers. Right there, right on either side of you, Jeff. It'll look perfect.
On this side?
A fountain of sparklers.
Right here? Yeah. It'll just look like this. Pretend this is sparklers.
It would look like that.
Okay. And Chris also says, congrats on your new comic. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate it. And again, I'm just, there's a lot of cool, awesome writers and artists. I'm just one of them in that, but it's an honor to be part of it. All right, let's talk more about these guys. Less about me, more about these guys. Pantsless Detective. They've been on our show before. At least, well, Dipu seems to be on like every other episode. But for Pantsless, is this have you been on for every season, or is this? I don't remember.
No, it's our second
time. Oh, all right, so that's right. Season 2 was really bad, so we skipped that. And then
actually, season 1 we skipped.
Oh, okay, right. Because I'm sorry, we wanted to wait until it got really good.
Exactly.
And then we had you on. I'm just kidding. They're all great. Anyway, they just released season 3. So why don't you tell people first off about the show if they don't already know about it?
Tom, you can start.
Oh, you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay, so Pantsless Detective is a noir detective spoof.
Are you reading this off a screen?
Yes, I am. I'm reading it.
Okay, I'm just checking.
It's a noir detective spoof centering on a detective who does not wear pants named Richard Pantsless, played by me. And he has a group of he has a cadre of compatriots one of which is his intern, Smitty, played by Dipu, and his true-hearted secretary, Temperance Friday, played by Amy.
Me.
Oh, there you go. There she is. There's Amy Lewis. Very nice. And the mug to, let's see. Oh, yeah. Now the mug to her.
What's the tagline on that? Still all dick? What is it?
Where is it? There we go.
Still all dick, still no pants. Great. Perfect. Love it.
That's because the first one was all dick, no pants. And
so our third season is, what is our third season still?
Even more dick, even less pants, or something like that?
Even more all dick, even more all pants. Because now it's making less and less sense.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in season 4. So, but anyway, he's think of him as a 40s or 50s style noir detective in the modern world, but still living in the past. And so they take on what seemingly at first are unrelated cases, but tend to be part of an internecine web of deadly do. So season 3 explains that a little bit more, delves a little bit more into their backstories, and a mysterious woman from Pantsless's past shows up, and all hell breaks loose.
That is important to note. This is a comedy. It is not a drama. So we're kind of marrying the Airplane or Naked Gun styles with film noir conventions.
Wait, I've been playing this totally straight. What are you talking about?
Exactly. Which is what exactly they do.
Nice. And where can people watch?
Pantslessdetective.com. We have a YouTube channel. If you search Pantsless Detective, you can find it there. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find us easily searching just Pantsless Detective. That's pants with an S. P-A-N-T-S.
Yeah, some people think it's pantless, but we are pantsless. He is a pantsless detective.
Right. The other one is porn.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you go to a porn site, and who wants to go there?
90% of the internet.
Yeah, actually, most of our viewers and me.
I'm on porn right now.
Oh, good. No wonder our stream is lagging so much. It's actually not at all. It's a miracle. Okay. So Chris Hadley, by the way, says, look for my story on season 3 of Pantsless Detective coming soon on Snobby Robot. All right, cool. Check that out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'd forgotten about that. He just sent us an email about that today, and I'd already forgotten.
And
Chris.
Tom is awesome. Tom is Dory.
Anthony, a listener's mate, says you can see me hang out with Pantsless Detective on his YouTube. Oh, man, you guys are getting everywhere. You're getting around. All right, awesome. Yeah, so folks, you can all 3 seasons are up, right? They can watch all of it from the beginning.
All 3 are live on YouTube or on Facebook as well.
Sweet. All right, so yeah, after you're done listening or watching to this, you can go check them out. We can binge watch it.
You can.
You watch all 3 seasons, it's like watching a movie.
That's about right?
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
Minutes? Yeah.
Nice. Cool. All right. There we go. Cool. And we'll give those links out later again, of course, and we'll put them in the description section so you can easily find them if you're looking for them. All right. So, are there anything else you wanted to add about the show or anything else? Anything else you guys are working on you wanted to talk about before we move on?
Always hope to work on more things, but so far this has taken all of our free time pretty much. So, yeah, and the Webfest festival.
Okay, what are you saying?
The Web Festival circuit is
there we go.
Is in the midst of the 2016 season, so we'll be splitting up across the world to cover what we can.
Crisscrossing the globe.
Yes.
To bring Pantsless Detective to people who don't understand it.
Spreading pantslessness wherever we can.
That's right. So yeah, I guess we could say that we're in pre-production on season 4 already.
Yeah, Tom's written it, so we've got that far.
And
got to do it.
Yep.
Nice. All right, so good. Wow, you guys are you're not stopping. Good, cool, very cool.
We got a plan for 6 seasons on this storyline anyway, so we're gonna do our best to get through it all.
Awesome. And then after that's done is when you turn to the storyline focusing on my character, right? That you're gonna
That's correct.
Okay. Good. Don't do that. That would just ruin the whole show. That'd be terrible.
We need a supervillain.
No, that'd be the Agent of Milk.
Yeah, exactly. That's the Agents of Milk spinoff. We've talked about it on the show before. Yeah. Telling you, man, that would be a big hit. Actually, I think. I feel. I should have pitched that at San Diego Comic-Con when I was there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, here we go. Let's talk some geeky news. Actually, and I searched quite a bit, but this is a pretty slow geeky news week, folks. So I'm sorry we don't have too much. Unless you guys have other stuff, feel free to bring it up. But
well, Suicide Squad ain't getting any love from the reviewers so far.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about that. So, well, it actually comes out technically in a couple days, right? Friday.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I have read that and talking to some other people that apparently yes, on the critics that it has not been getting the greatest reviews, right? So I mean, look, I'll be honest. I actually personally, I don't fucking put any stock in critic reviews at all. I stopped reading reviews a long time ago because a lot of times they just ruin the movie, and I just feel there's a few critics I feel who can write really good reviews, but a lot of people don't. I feel so, yeah. And because there actually is an art, I think, to writing a review, and I'm not saying I'm amazing at it because that's not what I do, but I don't know. I just stopped because I don't want movies ruined for me, and I just felt it was happening too much. So. And actually, also, I'll be honest with you, I just don't give a shit what one person says or what these people say. Like, I just want to make my own opinion on the movie. So, but do you think? I mean, so you guys haven't seen any advanced previews of it or anything, or like screens of it, right?
I've only seen what's been out there on commercials and trailers.
Yeah, just the commercials and the previews. But
okay. So, well, let's talk about. So we can't talk about the actual movie, obviously, because none of us have seen it. What have you guys? So I mean, I know I've seen a lot of trailers. I was at Comic-Con in Hall H when they brought the Suicide Squad cast out and they showed some other stuff. I don't know. You know what? I'm kind of like back and forth on this one. I'm like Suicide Squad was never like a super interesting. I guess I never really got into it too much, except mainly, if anything, through Arrow, the show Arrow. To be honest with you, when they started working in there.
Right.
So I think Harley Quinn's a fantastic character. Many people actually, as you look at any con, she's like the most cosplayed character pretty much at any con I go to. So I don't know. Like, it looks like it could be fun, but I don't know. There's other parts that I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna. I'm kind of on the fence about this movie.
Aren't they supposed to be like the Dirty Dozen of the DC world? The villains have been given a chance. Right.
That's exactly what it is.
That's a great premise.
It is.
I don't know about you guys. I love the Dirty Dozen. I grew up, as a kid watching that, thinking that was the coolest damn thing. So it's a great premise, and I have to say this: watching those previews and stuff, it made me want to watch it. It made me want to check it out. I don't know what you guys thought.
I'm still not sure. I'm still worried about Jared Leto's Joker because I'm not sure how that's going to work. His take on it, but. Margot Robbie looks great as Harley Quinn. It looks like she's going to kill it, and I don't know. I'm surprised Killer Croc seems to work on screen. I didn't think that concept would translate to live action.
Oh shit, that is Killer Croc, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what? I've always kind of wanted to see Killer Croc as a Batman villain, so I'm actually okay. That's cool. I'm excited.
Well, Affleck, or at least his stuntman's supposed to show up in this too. So.
Yeah, I think it's probably more the stunt.
Probably,
yeah, because they were. Because I don't think you see him out of the suit really in this movie, but we'll see. So, what's interesting though? Say, I know we've talked about this. I know you're very leery of that. I'm always gonna wait and see in terms of performance.
I know. I'm open-minded because a lot of people were saying that Heath Ledger was gonna be terrible. So, until I actually see it, I'm not gonna say this is gonna be terrible for sure. It could work, it could work.
I will say, from all the stories, he got ridiculously method in the role and into it. Like you guys might have heard the story, but Will Smith actually told it at Comic-Con on the panel, which was actually really cool to hear him tell the story. That because Will Smith's a good storyteller, just in general. So he was telling, a lot of people have probably heard this, but that some messenger brought this box into them, and they said to the other cast, and it was particularly for Margot Robbie, but Will Smith was standing next to her, and he's like, "Oh, this is from the Joker," and I guess at the time Will was like, "What is this? Who the fuck is bringing this weird box in here?" And then they open it, and it was like shit. I don't know if it's a dead. I forget if it's a live rat or a dead rat. It was some kind of rat. I'm not sure if it was dead or live. But basically, Leto had sent this rat to Margot Robbie as the Joker, basically to Harley Quinn, right? And then he was just on Jimmy Fallon a few days ago, and he gave him a box, and there was a like snake in it. So like he's definitely like really, really getting into the role. So that could bode well. Except I really don't want him giving me any like boxes of anything.
No.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or
I wouldn't even. Yeah, if I was Fallon, I wouldn't even want to open that, man. Like I was like, oh my god, what is in here? Anthony Davis says, I thought Dipu said Jerry Lewis was playing the Joker.
Flavin!
Well, you know what? In the 60s, he probably could have done it.
That's funny. Kate at Shrek 1000 says, she made it. She's watching live. Cool, Kate. Glad you could join us. Yeah, so I don't know. You know, we'll have to see about Suicide Squad. You know, it's interesting. I read an article. I think it was on the Hollywood Reporter, Heat Vision, or which it said like how they were grading the first three Marvel Cinematic Universe movies to the DC ones, and kind of some people were kind of talking like so Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Suicide Squad, critically at least, have all kind of not done so well. So they're kind of saying how long can DC keep this run of movies that are not. You know, here's the thing. I actually, like we've talked about this on the show, and I think Dipu, you were tweeting in along during that.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed Batman v Superman, though as I was going through and watching the extended edition, it actually wasn't really holding up quite as well as my initial viewing.
Really, because that's what the opposite of what everyone else is saying.
So people are liking it better?
Yeah, with the Ultimate
Edition. I don't know why. Like, and it's not like I don't like it anyway. I still do, but it's weird. And I haven't finished it because it's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, overall, I actually like that movie. And there's Man of Steel. I was, some of it I liked, some of it I didn't. So I don't know. I don't think they're doing as poorly as people claim, but
no.
Yeah. I mean, yes, they're not doing what Marvel's doing. I mean, cinematically yet, for sure.
Well, I have a theory on that, and here's my theory.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
My theory is that the DC world is a more serious world, and that the Marvel world from the get-go was a bunch of wisecracking, smartaker type, even especially the superheroes. The superheroes in the DC world were much more serious and took themselves seriously, whereas the guys in the Marvel world are more wisecracker. They're more like wiseacres, and they always have been. And I think there's a certain amount of fun built into that, and it works in the cinematic world if you want to put a lot of humor into what is otherwise an action genre. I think that works, and it engages an audience more easily than a super serious, darker take on the superhero thing. That's just my 2 cents. Because I think every time I watch a Marvel movie, I'm amazed by how clever the writing is, and how one of the reasons it's so clever is they're able to work so much humor into it.
That's a very interesting point, actually. It's interesting, like in Dipu, I want to hear your thoughts too. In terms of comics, I've actually sometimes heard the opposite of that.
Right, yeah. On the comics, it would definitely be the opposite.
DC has always been more fantasy kind of based with crazy powers and fictional cities, and Marvel's been more of like the real world depiction kind of heroes. So I think in the comics, I don't think that's. I think DC actually has done. It's almost a reverse of what you just said. But in terms of the cinematic stuff, you're 100% right. Mm-hmm. Zack Snyder, in particular, has decided to take a very, very serious. And even if you go back to Nolan's Batman, which I really, really like, films, they're very, very serious films, right?
Yeah.
So that's the choice they made. And although interesting, I think you could see this when they were talking a little bit at Comic-Con, and also in the Justice League footage they showed there, which maybe all of that's online now too, but
I've seen that.
With the Justice League and with the Flash, I think they're really trying to inject humor into that movie with the Flash's character from the scenes they showed only that I saw at Comic-Con. So I think they're trying to fix that because I think they actually, Tom, they probably realized what you're talking about is a bit of a problem for what they've been doing.
Yeah.
That's. What do you think, Dipu?
Well, a lot of people I think are still pissed that they tried to take a Batman approach to Superman, who is supposed to be more of an opposite to Batman. You know, he's not supposed to be the dark, brooding, worried about everything the way Batman is type of character. You know, so I think the fact that they darkened up everything about Superman people are still talking. People are still pissed about Man of Steel, basically. And yeah, I mean, there should be more of a contrast. I mean, I thought to me that was one of the biggest problems with Batman v Superman is that there's not enough of a contrast between the two, because there really should be.
That's a great point. I mean, you're right. Superman.
Well, yeah, one is straight hero and one is more of an anti-hero, and they should be very different.
In many ways, they're almost in the antithesis of each other.
Right. They're supposed to be.
Which is why, like, I think a lot of the comic stuff and they actually had a Batman Superman comic for a while. I think maybe they still do. I don't know. But anytime they would be in comics together, that worked, I think, a lot because of that relationship. They were so different, but they were still friends, and they still usually, found a way to get along. Well, actually, sometimes being at odds. That you're right. I think that's a big part of why that worked, because they were so different. So yeah, I mean that's a great point, Dipu. So I don't know. It's interesting to see. So you feel? Do you guys both feel that? I don't know, because I actually kind of feel almost. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I sometimes feel that Marvel also doesn't put enough humor in their films, but like Ant-Man was amazing. Like that's actually one of my favorite Marvel ones because it's obviously actually kind of a comedy film in a way.
Well, it kind of has to be.
Yeah, you're right. Right. That was great, and I'm sure Spider-Man, Homecoming will have plenty of that. But and Whedon certainly, particularly in the Avengers, obviously, Whedon always brings his distinct sense of humor. So I guess they certainly have, right? Yeah, you know what? I guess they all have actually. If I think about it, even Iron Man and Thor have had their humorous moments. You're right.
I just watched Deadpool, and
yeah, that whole thing is hilarious. Yeah.
It's just I couldn't believe I was laughing while people were getting ripped into pieces. But I'm laughing about it, and it was very cleverly done, even though it's hyper violent. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. No, but you know what? You're totally right. Marvel definitely has actually tried to work humor into. I mean, sometimes a lot, like Deadpool and Ant-Man, because it's appropriate to those characters, and other times, more subtly.
But I mean, we've just my wife and I just got to our company put together hey, let's not work, let's go to a movie thing, and at the
Element Draft House. Your company just goes to see movies? Is that what you do?
Isn't that awesome? They took us to see the Avengers Civil War deal. And,
nice.
And even if that had the serious themes, but it was actually very funny. It was a very funny movie. So anyway.
All right.
I think they do a good job of infusing that in their films, and they're appealing that way.
Nice. It's interesting also talking about this like serious versus kind of more lighthearted approach. In some ways, it's almost like in the TV world, the two DC and Marvel flip from what they do in the movie world, right? Where Marvel is, oh my God, so fucking serious. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't watch anymore, but I mean, they did occasionally try to work some humor in, of course. But the Netflix films, holy crap, how dark are those fucking things?
Oh my God,
they're making Christopher Nolan look rosy.
Yeah, exactly, right?
The Daredevil series is serious. Oh my God! Yeah. And then they introduced
Jessica Jones is even more so.
Jessica Jones is even darker.
Is she really?
Yeah, even darker.
Jessica Jones
I haven't seen
darker.
that yet.
Yeah. So.
Maybe Luke Cage, in comparison, will actually seem like a lighthearted romp. And I'm not dissing those shows. I mean, I'm not saying they're not very well done, and people love them. It's just for me, they almost got like so dark. Like I can't take it almost. Like it's just too much for me.
Yeah, the second season where they bring the Punisher in.
Yeah, I couldn't. That was too much.
Daredevil was hard enough, man. The Punisher, my God.
But then on the on DC and on other CW shows, and that's where I think DC. I've said this many times. They're rocking TV. I know they got to do better movies, but they're rocking TV.
Except for Gotham.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
That's
yeah,
like the '60s TV show on acid or something.
Yeah, oh, that's very dark too. Actually, you're right. That's very dark.
Well, it's dark but weird in a weird way. It's I don't know. I don't get what they're doing on that.
Yeah. And not that Arrow is super light either, but it's definitely lighter than the Marvel shows. And Flash, I think, is a great.
Definitely, yeah.
Flash is like a great balance, I think, of drama, comedy, and action. It's just like so good.
I've liked what I've seen of that.
I just think it's weird that it seems like both the DC TV and movie universes they want Barry Allen to be Wally West, because neither one is really using the classic comic Barry Allen characteristics. Wally West was more of the comic relief, especially like in the Justice League animated series.
Although on Flash with Grant Gustin, who's playing Barry Allen, I think he is still like Barry Allen, right? With maybe a little Wally thrown in, but because he's not really a big jokester, right? It's more like sometimes the way he reacts to the other characters.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you can tell me if you think differently, but I don't know. Like was Barry really straight? Was Barry Allen really straight in the comics in terms of like being the straight man?
He was to the point of being boring, yeah.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I think that's probably one of the reasons why they killed him in 1986 and brought in Wally, is because they weren't going anywhere with the character. So.
All right. Well, then, yeah, they must have then changed that up a little bit for the series. I never read the Flash back then in the comics, so I actually wasn't really aware. Although they have Wally West now in the Flash, just to the series, so that's interesting. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so okay, good. There you go. Good job, guys. We filled all that time of lack of news with that talk. Now I'll mention the one real news item that we were going to talk about. I just find this amusing, so I'm going to share this. So, also, this comes from Heat Vision on the Hollywood Reporter. Apparently, TSA, which of course does security, for all the airlines, airports, over here in the U.S. Apparently, it's become a bit of an issue that people keep putting batarangs in their checked luggage, and that's not allowed because it could be a weapon. Like anything, you could throw like a boomerang is a weapon. So there's actually a whole bunch of ones they showed. Like they'll take pictures of it and they'll make posts on Instagram. But here's one of my favorite quotes from TSA. This came from the Salt Lake City International Airport. Their quote is, "Batarangs are becoming more and more common. It's important that you know they're prohibited in carry-on bags. They can be placed in your checked baggage along with your grapple gun, bat saw, collapsible bat sword, and other utility belt items."
Well,
I just think that's hilarious that TSA made a post about kind of having fun with all the different items and a utility belt and stuff.
First that the TSA is on Instagram. Number one.
Yeah, that's weird. But that's awesome, man. So I have to always check my...
Always check your batarangs.
All right. And all utility belt items.
Yeah, it's nice to see TSA has a sense of humor.
Well, it's like some people responded to that saying like, well, my grappling gun is a compressed air canister, so I can't check that either. So how do I transport that?
Ship it ahead.
All right. I'm trying to think about, curious why they're trying to bring batarangs onto the. I mean, I guess sometimes I'll bring stuff on if I really don't want it to be damaged for sure. I'll bring it with me so it's in my possession. So maybe it's that.
But some of them look like they actually had razor edges, which is that should be pretty obvious that you can't bring that in if it's got an actual metal edge.
Yeah.
So batarangs are an extremely common object going flying across. Wow!
Here you go. Here's my batarang that I got. Now see, I got this from
That looks pretty frightening.
I got this from I bought the special edition of Arkham Asylum, the first,
Oh, right, yeah.
But they got smart and they actually fused it to the stand so you could not actually hurl it at people. Which is kind of too bad because I really want to take it off, but I can't without ruining it. But yeah, so okay, so TSA would not allow me to bring this on though, I'm sure. So
not on board, no.
That's a really big. That's probably actually his actual size though to what his would be. It's pretty big that thing.
Certainly in the Arkham games, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Chris Halley says, hey, he's watching us on his Amazon Fire TV. Ooh, look, we're in big screen, guys.
That's TV. That doesn't seem like a good thing.
No, your big faces blown up.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a positive.
Maybe he's got the Bizarro World filter on, so we all look really great.
Awesome.
Everybody get your face really close. Going for your close-up. Going for your close-up. All right. Hey, Chris. How's it going, man?
All right, no.
I'm huge.
Oh, boy. All right. I'm sure everybody's enjoying that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Great. All right. Okay, so here we go. We got one more game left to do. Let's geek it on, our geeky dating game. Before we do that, we will take one last commercial break if you're watching the recorded version or listening to the podcast. So we'll be back right after this. What's up, everybody? You are watching Super Geeked Up. Thank you for returning if you watched that commercial for some amazing product or show, I'm sure. Like maybe it was the Pantsless Detective commercial.
That was awesome.
Yeah. So we are here with Dipu and Tom from the Pantsless Detective. Let's see. Oh, here we go. We were just talking about how TSA makes posts about not allowing batarangs on planes. Tammy Anderson at SaberPinkT just tweeted in, good information as I will be making a Robin utility belt and accessories this year. There we go. Happy to help out, Tammy. So, yeah. Just make sure you pack that in your checked luggage.
Yep, check that.
All right. Okay, so we're going to play Let's Geek It On. This is our geeky dating game. It's always a lot of fun. So, one of us will be asking questions like they're a contestant on a dating game and they're trying to pick, one of the bachelors or bachelorettes. The other two of us will be playing fictional characters on this dating game, and we will be answering the questions in character, okay? And through our answers, the person asking the questions will try to determine what characters we are, all right? They will ask 3 questions. The 2 people will both answer that question, and then, and we're going to see if they can figure it out. We're probably going to do 2 rounds of this, so Tom and Dipu can both have a chance of asking questions. Let's see here. So, Tom, why don't you be the first one to ask the questions?
Okie dokie.
All right, so again, you can take them from that list if you want that I sent you, or come up with your own zany ones. Chris Hadley, by the way, also tweets in, "Hey, you made it. You're on TV." All right, awesome. We have made it. We made it in Hollywood. We're on TV. All right, so let's see. So Dipu and I will be playing some characters here. Dipu, you all set with who you want to play from the list I sent you?
Yeah.
All right. And then, oh man, see, now I got to decide who I want to play. All right. Okay, I got it. Tom, where are you going? You're disappearing. Oh, there you go.
Oh, sorry. I had to zoom in to see my questions. Okay. So.
Okay. So, by the way, if you're watching at home, folks, you can also, we love it if you guess as well. But Tom won't be looking at Twitter during this to get any hints. But you can tweet in to @SuperGeekedUp, #SGU, your thoughts or who we are. Just so you know, we could be playing either male or female characters. Okay, we don't restrict gender on this.
Right on.
All right. So, Tom, what's your first question?
I'm going to start with, if you were to take me on a romantic date, what would it be like?
All right, I'll start. And then Dipu, you can go. Yes. It would be the most romantic date you've ever had. First, we would sail on a ship across the sea.
Wow. And
it would be very romantic, as long as we didn't fall into the water, where there are creatures that would probably eat us. Then we would do some rock climbing up a very sheer face of rock. And at the top, I would give you some fencing lessons. And then, after that, we would go to a castle and have a lovely meal.
Wow. All right. Let's go, man.
Sounds good, right?
Oh, we got to keep playing. Yeah, it did.
Dipu, oh, nice character.
Well, first of all, I don't know, maybe I'd pick the Lamborghini or the Ferrari. I don't know, one of my cars. I'd pick you up in that, take you to one of my, take you to the glitzy headquarters I have, maybe show you around the lab a bit. I might have my bodyguards, we may have to keep some of the supermodels away who are going to be kind of, glomming onto me. I hope you don't mind that, unless you're okay with that, that's fine. And we're going to order
realize
something.
This is a date, right?
Oh, is it? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you're here too. So, whatever you want, I'm sure we could do that. I'll get around to you at some point.
I think Dipu was just describing his own life, actually. There.
Yeah, I'm confused. Okay. So,
Next question.
Next question. Let's see. If you were to take me to meet your family, what would it be like?
Well, that's a bit of a sad subject. You see, my father was killed by this dastardly person, and I will resolve to hunt him down and kill him, and will never stop until I find him. And that person should be prepared to die when he meets me. Dipu?
Well, we would have to go into the past to see my family. I think. I don't know. I didn't really see those movies, so I know my dad had some important roles to play, but I don't really remember what they were because all I care about really is my life and the fact that I'm wealthy and I'm just amazing. I'm the best. I'm just the best. I'm a great inventor. I do so many good things that really, who cares about my family? Really, I mean, I've got my secretary. I've got my computer. Butler, I guess you could say. But
all right.
Oh.
So actually, do you already know who we are? Or do you want to?
I think I do.
All right. So why don't Twitter hasn't gotten one of them already, but I'll let you guess first. So who do you think we are?
I think you're Batman and Tony Stark.
You got one of them right.
All right, one.
Dipu is Tony Stark.
Okay, but you're not Batman?
No. And by the way, lots of people on Twitter, like Tammy and Anthony, were guessing Tony Stark, so they got it as well.
All right.
Dude, I must really suck at this game. I don't think anybody ever gets who I am.
I know who you are.
Oh no, Dipu knows, right?
I understand what you're going for.
Okay, good. At least thank you, Dipu. Now you make me feel better.
To be fair, your first answer I think was a little confusing because it was kind of, I thought you were someone else, like another.
From that same thing, though.
Yes.
Yeah, that could have been either one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I tried to make it clearer.
That's the second one made it much clearer for me. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be ambiguous in the first one. All right. Anyway, well, Dipu, and tweet in if you think you know. So, Tom, does it help you if I say?
Well, he's got a third question.
Yeah, let me ask you a third question.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, go for it. There we go.
Right.
We'll do a third question.
What are some of your hobbies? This might help.
Yes, hobbies. So, my main hobby is practicing sword fighting, but with both hands. I am excellent with both hands with sword fighting, but my main hobby is preparing ways to kill the man who killed my father, and it's a very specific man. And hey, wait, I'm going to ask you a question. Hold up your hand. How many fingers do you have on your hand?
It's Inigo Montoya.
Yeah.
I feel like such a dopus now.
I was trying to save the 6 fingers for the end.
It's inconceivable you couldn't get that.
Nice. With the prepare to die, like I tried to work, and I didn't want to do the whole.
I love how you did that.
I didn't want to do the whole thing, which I love, but it would have been too obvious.
No, I thought that was a great approach.
Yeah. Here we go. Good, thank you. Twitter actually got it before, like I even did the third one, I think. Anthony David, Chris Hadley also thought Bruce Wayne, by the way.
Thank you, Chris.
Anthony Davis said, "Is it Inigo Montoya?" And Tammy Anderson said, "Hello, Inigo Montoya. I didn't kill your father, and I only have 10 fingers." Both hands, I assume she would say. She means.
I'm not prepared to die. Okay.
That's my favorite line from like almost any movie, probably. All right, cool. Now I can say I played Inigo Montoya. All right, so now we're gonna do one more round of this. Dipu will be asking the questions. Tom and I will be playing characters. All right, I know mine. Tom, do you have one picked out?
It's like me ordering from a really good menu. I had an idea, and now I'm switching, and now I've just got to. All right, I've got it. I got it.
All right, so Dipu, take it
You
away.
all set? All right. So, if you were to make me a meal, what would it be?
Tom, why don't you start?
What would it be? Huh. I don't know. Maybe maybe a lot of root vegetables and maybe some blue milk.
Okay. All right. Whoa. A meal. Well, I don't really know how to cook. Most of I get takeout. So maybe I get you some Chinese or something. And while you're eating it, I'm just going to be staring at a computer monitor most of the time, and doing some possibly some illegal activity.
Nice.
Okay. What is your what do you usually do on a Friday night?
Go ahead, Tom.
Tom.
Oh, I don't know. Usually, normally I like to go into town, or I want to go into town and pick up latest electronic gadgets, but frequently I'm not allowed to, so I've got to hang out and fix the goddamn condensers all the time. But it's pretty fucking boring here. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now because if I don't continue too much longer, I'll sound really whiny.
Continue. Start to. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, so besides staring at my computer at home and hacking into things, I have this really boring office job in a cubicle. Sometimes I like to go out on the ledge of that office building because some not so nice people are pursuing me. And then what gets really exciting though is when this bald guy gives me a choice of two colors, and whoa, my world totally got blown then.
Oh.
Clearly, you're Luke and Neo.
Okay, wait. So Luke
Yeah,
Skywalker
but
and
which
Neo.
is which?
Yes. Right. I'm Luke Skywalker and you're Neo, obviously.
because Neo is known for being whiny.
Yes, right. Yes, I was Neo from the Matrix, and he was Luke Skywalker. I was so focused on what I was going to say, I actually missed a lot of your stuff. What, Tom? Wait, what was the boring part about, like moisture farming or something? Or
Yeah, man. Uncle, what the hell
Owen?
is his name?
Uncle Owen.
Owen keeps making me change out the condensers for the moisture farming. Like, I don't want to be messing with that on a Friday night.
Right, you want to go into Tashi Station and get some power converters.
Exactly, to get the power converters.
So Tammy Anderson said, "What's cooking, Tom? Are you totally like Luke Skywalker?"
Wow, just from the blue milk. That's good.
Yeah. Chris Halley said, "Elliot Anderson." Wait, who's that? Oh, wait, Mr. Wait, is that his name? Mr. Anderson. Was that his first name?
Anderson.
Was his first name Elliot? His real
I don't
name?
know. I don't remember him having.
It's funny. I actually only know him as Neo, like in Mr. Anderson. I wonder if they ever established their first name. That's interesting.
That's a good point. I don't know.
Wow, Chris, tell us if that's true.
Yes, he did have he did have a normal name.
But the agent would always call him Mr. Anderson.
Yes, maybe it was Elliot Anderson. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Extra points for that, man.
Yeah, seriously, Chris. If you knew that, like extra geeky points. Tammy Anderson also said, "Neo, follow the White Rabbit." I thought about working that in too. P.S. She says, "Love the teen angst." From Luke, I think.
Wasn't too whiny, Tammy? Okay.
Anthony says, "I don't see Jeff as Keanu Reeves." I'm not sure if that's a compliment or.
That's a good point.
Whoa, Anthony. Come on.
I know Kung Fu. I actually like Keanu Reeves, to be honest with you. I've always liked him, actually.
Yeah, I have too. Yeah,
He's been in some good movies, man.
he has.
You must be a pretty good Neo because as soon as you said "whoa," I thought this is probably Neo, isn't it? Well, actually, it's some sort of Keanu character is actually what I thought.
Oh, did you? Oh, good.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I did the whoa good enough.
Yeah, when you did the whoa, I was like, okay, it's got to be Keanu. So it's either a stoner character or it's Neo.
Nice. Thank you. Now I feel vindicated.
I actually kind of thought maybe Bill and Ted at first,
I feel vindicated now for that.
So you had me at Keanu almost immediately. It's just a matter of which one.
Nailed it. Nailed that one. Wait, I'm trying to think. He does say whoa at some point in The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
I assume so, but I don't remember it now, to be honest. And now I'm confused.
I think maybe with the Kung Fu. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Yeah, it was right before you said Kung Fu.
Yeah, I think that. He must. I'm just assuming he says that in every movie.
He must have said that, during the first half hour or so, that when he's first discovering all this. I'm sure he said it.
Hey, what was the name of that cool movie where he's a hitman? He takes revenge on the people he used to.
Oh, yeah.
He was really good in that, and I don't think John Wick. John Wick. That was good, and,
I saw that
he didn't say whoa in that one time.
I didn't really like that movie, but
really, I liked that.
No.
He never said whoa.
Well, they're making a sequel apparently.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I don't like it when dogs die in movies. That pisses me off.
That's actually one reason I didn't like Anchorman for a long time, because for about 20 minutes you think the dog was killed for a joke, and
but he was alive?
Yeah, it turns out he wasn't. He survived and came back and saved him, but...
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, I guess, folks, but that's all right.
The dog died in Vacation. You guys vacation haters, too?
National Lampoon's Vacation?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that.
That was okay.
You guys don't like the dogs dying in the movies, okay?
No, I've always said kill as many people as you want, just don't hurt freaking
just don't hurt a dog. All right.
Or any other animals either.
That dog was an asshole, though.
He was.
In what? National Lampoon?
Yeah.
Not in John Wick. That was a nice dog though in John Wick.
No, not in John Wick.
Yeah, that was sad.
Maria Duran just says, catching the last moment, I'm here. We'll catch the previous in post. Thank you, Maria. Chris Hadley was referring to Elliot. Now he says Alderson, the lead character in Mr. Robot. Okay.
I haven't seen that.
Okay. It said Anderson at first, I think, though. So, okay, does anybody know, though, is Neo ever given a first name in The Matrix? I would love to know that now, though, actually, like in the Matrix world. That would be very interesting to know. Because on the credits, he's going to be listed as Neo, I'm sure, on the IMDb and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Let me see. What other tweets we got coming in here? Let's see. Tammy Anderson on Twitter says, new game for next time. Characters Bill and Ted would meet on another totally excellent adventure. Hey, I like that idea.
That is a good one.
That is a cool idea.
And you can say Tammy Anderson, like...
Oh, yes. Miss Anderson.
Miss Anderson.
Hugo Weaving, right, is the actor who played
Hugo
Agent
Weaving.
Smith, right?
Yeah, Agent Smith.
Dude, he's so good, man. Chris Hadley also says, seriously, I've never even seen The Matrix, so I wouldn't know. Okay. Well, Chris, first off, go watch The Matrix.
And remember, there's only one Matrix movie.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that, because you always say that. And I agree 100% with you, though, so you can keep saying it. But yes, Chris, watch the first Matrix, Chris, and then never watch another Matrix after that.
I refuse to watch the other two.
Oh, you've never seen them? You're such a smart guy.
Yeah, you did. That was
I wish I had.
Watch them.
Oh, Tammy has the answer.
What is
Neo's name was Thomas A. Anderson. Yes, that's right. Oh, damn, Tammy is a genius. Shit, because her name's Anderson. That's why. She knows all about every Anderson.
Do you know all the Andersons?
Yes, she does.
She knows all the Andersons.
That's how it works, right?
Exactly. That's totally how it works. So you know all the Bhattacharyas?
Yeah.
Very good. Well done.
So it's Rhea. It's Bhattacharya. That's what I'm messing up, the Y.
Well, here's the thing. That's how I say it. It may not be accurate either, but that's what I know. So.
Right. So I've obviously been saying it correctly all this time, and you've been messing your name up.
That's entirely possible. That's actually possible.
All right. But anyway, yes, Chris, you know what? The first Matrix, honestly, I find when it's one of those movies that was revolutionary, it's like a groundbreaking movie, and it's so good. I'll never forget, man. I was watching that movie. I was actually in grad school in Chicago, and I was on the south side of Chicago watching that movie at midnight or something like that. And You know the okay, spoiler warning, folks, if you haven't seen The Matrix. So for Chris, just briefly. At the end, I'll just keep this mainly spoiler free. Just you guys know at the end when Neo's doing that amazing shit, right? When he like becomes kind of the one. The freaks, seriously, the people in the theater just started like getting up and cheering and like going crazy, like it's. And usually I hate that shit when people go make noise in the movie, but it was so perfect. Like at that moment, I was like, yes, this movie is so fucking amazing. That is the right reaction to have. Yeah, so I always remember that's like one of my actually like most memorable movie experiences. All right, let's see. Okay, cool. I guess that's pretty much gonna wrap us up. People keep tweeting along. Let's see here. Maria, people are talking like Maria and Kate are talking about how they love Ant-Man because we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, I totally agree. Like that movie totally surprised me, man. Like it became maybe my favorite Marvel movie, possibly, easily top 3. Maria Duran saying, just watch Star Trek Beyond, not a fave for me. Have you guys seen? Here's the thing. I really don't want to see this movie. I think it looks terrible. And Dipu, I think maybe you and I have talked that we're not huge fans of how the reboots have gone.
Yeah, I'm not a big Abrams fan. I mean, if people want to see it, that's fine. You know, I don't object to that. But
like,
for
he'll
me,
allow you to go see it, folks.
Well, thanks, man. That's magnanimous of you.
So you haven't seen Beyond, then, right?
But no, because I felt like the whole alternate universe thing was like just lazy writing. It's like if you're going to change up the characters and do all that stuff, like change their backstories, and are they even the same characters? It's like the time when they, it's like, you reboot Batman and his parents weren't killed. He's not an orphan, kind of a thing,
It's the alternate timeline thing is a weird concept. I mean, you're right. It's like, well, this lets us get away with whatever we want, but yeah, I see what you're saying, I don't know. I just, yeah. I've always said, the first movie of the reboot, I actually kind of liked. When I first saw it, I actually dug it.
I've heard it's a good movie. It's just not necessarily Star Trek. But
so you actually haven't seen any of them?
No.
Oh,
I've seen bits on TV and stuff, but yeah.
I mean, I dug it actually, but then with Into Darkness, I thought instead of going forward and doing their own take on things, they kind of just went backwards and redid a movie that existed, which was an awesome movie. And so that's kind of where they lost me.
I mean, if they'd redone Star Trek 5 made it good, that'd be one thing.
Well, you can't make it any worse. That's for sure. So bad. But yeah, I mean,
but they had to remake a good one. So it's like, well, you're setting yourself up for failure there.
You know what's so funny that I was at Montreal Comic Con last month, which was a great con, and I got to do Super Geeked Up there. And I was it's a couple people who were at the Super Geeked Up show. I started talking to them afterwards, and they were going into the Michael Ironside talk, and I was like, all right, hey, why not join? I like Michael Ironside. He's cool. He's had a lot of cool roles, right? And they were talking to him. Somebody from the audience asked him about the Total Recall remake, right? Because he was in the original Total Recall. And I don't know if he saw it or not, but he had this great line, which was, I wish they would remake the movies we fucked up. Instead of the ones like that were...
Right.
Because he was saying Total Recall isn't a fuck-up. Like, that was, like, what's Paul Verhoeven, right? Director? He was like, no, like, Verhoeven knew what he was doing. He made a good movie. Like, so that's a great point. Why we don't need to remake the movies that are great. If anything, maybe remake the shitty ones to make them better.
Well, I used to watch Siskel and Ebert all the time, and that's what Roger Ebert said. He said, you know what would be a great idea? Take a movie that almost worked, but that was, it didn't quite make it. Remake that. The one with the good premise that didn't quite pan out. And, maybe we get some good movies out of bad rather than bad movies out of good.
I mean, look at Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that original show rocked.
Well, to be fair...
No, you know what? It actually really... I'm sure if I went back and watched it now, it would be really cheesy.
I'm sure it aged badly, but yeah.
As a kid, I enjoyed it,
Sure, I enjoyed it as a kid, too. But
like Buck Rogers, As a kid, I enjoyed it.
Well, Erin Gray, I mean...
Oh, God. Dude, how hot was she, right?
That's why I watched that.
That was the whole reason to watch it.
See, you know what? Man. Yeah. I always talk about Linda Carter and Carrie Fisher as my first two crushes as a kid, but you're right. She's probably going to be in there, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Aaron Gray. Oh man, all right. I know what I'm dreaming about tonight.
Bitty, bitty, bitty.
Oh, now you just ruined it.
Exactly.
Jesus, thanks a lot. That's what I want to hear when I'm freaking having sex with Aaron Gray. God damn it! It's like freaking C-3PO walking down here when you're banging Princess Leia.
Oh my!
Yes.
Are you sure you're doing that right?
That's no moon.
It's like that's a different kind of goldenrod.
Yo.
What was Aaron Garay's character's name on Buck Rogers?
Wilma Deering.
Wilma?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That's a terrible. Well, that's probably from the 30s.
That's
probably from the original. So.
Oh, wait, because Buck Rogers was a comic strip.
Yeah, he was a comic.
So it was probably a popular name back then, just like Martha.
Right. Oh, you know what? Actually, my friend gave me one time. He gave me this huge Buck Rogers book with all the old comics in it. It was like so cool. I was like, shit, you really want to because he was moving. He's like, you really want to get rid of this? He's like, yeah, you'll enjoy it. Have it. I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Because it started as a newspaper comic, right?
Could be, yeah.
I think.
Yes.
Because that's what it was. I think it was like all the newspaper strips.
That and Flash Gordon, I think, started that.
Yeah. Way. Flash. That was good. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get that high. Good job. You know what? I'm surprised they haven't. They probably have tried to, but they haven't tried to do a Flash Gordon show or movie again. It's probably in the works.
I'm sure they've tried, but nobody's quite pulled the trigger.
I don't know how you could top the one with oh, what the heck? Now I've forgotten the name of Max von Sydow as the Merciless Ming. Come on.
Oh yeah.
He was awesome.
Is that who played Ming in the?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he could still play him. Actually, you know what? That would be problematic to make now because people are they're going to be accused of either whitewashing or doing a Asian stereotype. So
there's a way to do it, though.
They'd have to figure out a way to
there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe just because all the bad guys were Asian in that. Is that right?
Well, just the fact that his name is Ming and he looks very.
You would just have to
very East Asian, you know.
Yeah.
You would have to do a different ethnic casting probably for that role.
Yeah,
not white, but maybe not Asian or some other ethnicity.
That would be the way to handle it.
There we go. Look, we're talking all these great ideas about how to reboot Flash Gordon. Just call us up, whoever owns that, whatever studio owns it. On Twitter, Maria Duran says, yes, you cannot touch my back-in-the-day Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, hell yeah, Maria. Cool. She says, yeah, the Total Recall remake was so bad, so uncalled for. I agree it was uncalled for. I actually don't think the movie was terrible.
It was okay.
I think it was just such a retread of the original. It was absolutely unneeded. Kate Beckinsale, however...
I was going to say, wasn't she in that? So that's why you
here's the... Kate Beckinsale
is the most terrible.
Is the most... Well, okay. Even taking her out of the equation, it's still not terrible. Kate Beckinsale actually seriously rocks in that movie. She's like a badass, man. She kicks ass in that movie. And also, I think Kate Beckinsale is the most beautiful woman on the planet. So any movie that has Kate Beckinsale in it is automatically not terrible. Yes, that's right.
So thumbs up on Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know what? That's actually another movie that gets much maligned, and I actually don't think that's a really bad movie either. I kind of liked that when I first saw it. I just think it went on way too long. The extra act, I think.
Didn't it feel like they shoved too much into that movie?
Yes.
It was just they were just jamming things into that movie. It's just like, dude, you don't have to tell the whole freaking story of the war. Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tammy Anderson on Twitter says about Star Trek V, why does God need a starship? I like the new cast and keep hoping the director and story finally get there for the reboot Star Trek. That's what she means. And she says, at least Data's fully functional. Nice. About our little sex talk earlier. That's true. Data would be much better than C-3PO, I think, in that department. I agree. C-3PO doesn't really even have... He would need to have an extra part put on, basically, right?
Right, he needed an accessory.
We don't know that he doesn't have something that extends the way R2 has that.
Yeah, I would say R2 is probably better in that.
R2's probe, you mean?
Yeah, well, R2 probably has he could vibrate too, right? Probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
I know we're going a very, very, very bad way now with the show.
Jordan would be proud of you.
Yeah, she would. She would like it. When she's not here is when I bring it out.
Right.
Tammy Anderson says, "Let Benedict Cumberbatch be Ming." That would
Yeah.
be
Oh,
interesting.
I like that.
You're just gonna rehash the whole con thing.
Yeah, because now here's the thing. He was great because he's one of my favorite actors. He was great as Khan. I just wish he was a new villain and not Khan.
Right?
in that
Yeah,
movie.
exactly. Why not make
Well,
it
that's
John
Deepu's
Harrison?
point that they should just make a different one.
Why not keep him as John Harrison? It's like, why does he have to be Khan?
Was that the actual name of him in that?
That was
movie?
the cover name or whatever, I guess.
Oh, the cover. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you guys. That's some great tweeting. And as usual, we got some extra geeky talk there at the end. All right. I don't know. I can always hate to end it when we're talking like cool stuff like this, but I guess we'll wrap it up. So before we go though, let's give links out again for these fine folks. So where can people see the Pantsless Detective?
Pantslessdetective.com. Pants Detective. And you can find us easily on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome. And you guys have some individual Twitters you like to give out?
I'm at the Dipu, THEDIPU, and Tom.
I'm at TR Chamberlain.
I like how you spelled the word "the" just a minute ago, by the way.
Not sure why I did that, actually.
You're so used to spelling everything.
Yeah, I always have to spell my name.
Most people misspell that one, so thank you. Appreciate it.
It'd be great if you said at the Dipu, THE Dipu.
Yeah.
Like you spelled dub in that Dipu. Wait, what? Where do you go by? Where do you go by the Home Dipu? Where is that?
That's my email.
Your email. Okay, that's by the way. I just think that's brilliant. Like on the Home Depot, it's fantastic. That just brings me joy personally.
Yeah.
Like nothing to do with the show, but. All right, you can of course get us folks at Super Geeked Up. If you haven't already, we of course love it if you can subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/supergeekedup. That helps us out. You can always catch all our past shows there. You can also go to supergeekedup.com, catch all the past shows. If you really like what we're doing, and you'd like to contribute on our Patreon page, we would love that. Patreon.com/supergeekedup. Or some people actually prefer just making a one-time donation. You can just contact me on Twitter or supergeekeduplive@gmail about that. Any contributions are super, super appreciated. Of course, we just love the fact that you watch every week too. It's great. I'll give one more plug for what I'm doing. So, Women of Derby Pop, which is a all-female centered anthology. So lots of awesome kick-ass women characters, which I love personally. I'm one of the writers on this, Derby Pop. So hey, if you want to, you can go pre-order that now if you like, or tell your local comic shop to order it. And then if you happen to be at some cons like New York Comic Con or Fan Expo Canada, stuff like that, I'll have some copies with me, and you can get grabbed for me there. And then of course Monday nights we do D&D Monday Night Mayhem, where we play Dungeons and Dragons. And get into shenanigans doing that every week. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. So we always have people doing live chatting and tweeting during that, so you guys can sometimes influence the show. So please tune into that as well. So Monday nights are D&D, and Wednesday nights Super Geeked Up, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Huge thanks to Dipu and Tom. Thank you guys so much for coming on, being super fun as always.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Jeff.
Of course. Thank you guys for watching. Everybody who's watching live and tweeted in, thank you. You guys rock. If you're watching in post, listening to the podcast, we love you as well. That's pretty much it. So yeah, coming up on episode 200. Stay tuned for that, and send us your ideas for that. And of course, we'll be back next week, regular time, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, for more geeky shenanigans. Thank you so much for watching. Until next week, stay geeky, everybody.